Welcome to YouTooSpain Live. On this week's show, you can ask our visa and residency specialist and best mate Chris from Upsticks about renewing your residency if you're one of the approximately 35,000 Brits who applied in 2020 under the Brexit Withdrawal Agreement to stay in Spain. And now you've had your 5 years of temporary residency and it's time to renew your TIE to become permanente. And Chris will also be giving away some Upsticks goodies to whoever has the best question or comment in the live chat. So start asking your questions right now on there or in the comments below if you're watching back afterwards, because the live chat doesn't work then. And because you're all part of this too, and you're all very welcome to YouTooSpain. Let's have the groovy theme tune. Here it comes. Lovely bit of fake drums there, but it's still groovy. And talking of groovy, let's welcome Chris from Upsticks, and here he is. Hello, matey.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good boy. A little tired. Late gig last night, and then had some food. Couldn't sleep. We were just talking about it. It's getting old. You can't have something to eat late at night and then and expect to be able to just fall asleep straight away. So
Yeah. Especially in this heat, it sort of knocks all your timings out, doesn't it? Because you it's in the winter you fancy something nice and hearty and then sleep well. But certainly now, I think after in the evening it's salad time, because if not, just sits warm on your belly.
Yeah, I don't know how the Spanish people doing it. I mean, there must be people out there eating steaks at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and then you're just going to get acid reflux all night, aren't you?
Yeah, I was out with my dad's here at the moment, and so we had a walk. Well, we went into town yesterday and had a couple of beers in the evening, quite early on, about 8, and there was nobody about at 8 o'clock, So, yeah. And we left about 10:30, 11, and that's just when the restaurants are packed. And I'm thinking, I couldn't eat that at this time of night.
No. All I had was cheese on toast. Mind it was like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. Yeah, just too much.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got any shout outs? We've got a few people already arrived on the live chat, but yeah, any from your office?
What visas did well? Certainly, Shirley's on the live chat. Let's give Shirley a shout, because I'm just reading I'm going to read a message here, because we were speaking this week. Good news, Chris. We got a text message from BLS Manchester gone 5 p.m. last night saying our visa application was dispatched. Great news, guys. I haven't checked my emails since yesterday. I haven't had a chance. I've been busy. But we actually sent a letter, but that can't have, the letter must have crossed the visa.
Yeah.
So it definitely didn't come in that quick. Either it was the power of psychology or something like that. But that is really good. 10 weeks and 2 days from the application. So
yeah, from Manchester. That's amazing.
Look, credit where credit dues with Manchester. We've got some which are running up on the 12-week mark at the moment. And I'm just going to bring up my notes from my weekly update. But most of them are coming in before the 12-week mark, even in summer now.
Oh, wow.
So we had Lena and Jimmy, they were 28th of April appointments. They came in this week. And Darren was a 14th of May appointment. And I'll give these guys a shout out. And his visa came in this week as well from Manchester. So,
Brilliant.
Getting there. Good
stuff. Who else have we got on? Adam Farmelo. He says, morning all. Sounds like another informative show. Always, Adam. Yes, indeed. Paul Cook says, good morning. And Anton cares, hola, todos. And Shirley Rose says, thank you so much, Chris. Absolutely. Right then. Carry on, everybody. If you've not said hello on the live chat yet, then do it now. Give us a little wave, because we want to see your names on there and say hello so that you're all part of it. And in the meantime, while you're doing all of that, let's get straight on with the main feature of the show, which goes like this. It's the main feature of the show. The topics in the title. Ooh. It is indeed. Oh, there's a message here from Michael Hill. Morning, guys. My wife for 44 years is a Spanish national, also has a UK passport. How do we get our marriage recognised in Spain? We are in the UK and deal with the Manchester consulate.
If your wife has got Spanish nationality, then you should be able to come under the new law that was approved on the 20th of May as a Spanish family member. And they recently also published the instruction regarding the marriage certificate, saying that they didn't have to be registered in the country of origin. In fact, it's a very long document, which I haven't read yet, but I did get AI to summarize it for me. But
Nice.
basically, you should be okay with an apostilled, an updated and translated copy of your marriage certificate if you got married in the UK. So, and those applications can be submitted in Spain. So,
Excellent.
There you go. You can submit it through the consulate, but you can submit it in Spain. And I saw on a very popular Spanish immigration YouTube channel, which we follow, very, very good one. And they've already done a few of these applications and they're coming out in a month. So there's actually been people approved under the new law already.
Perfect. That's good. That's a great answer and illustrated by examples from real life. Perfect. That's what this show's all about. So, right, Chris, we've both made videos in the past week about renewing your Brexit Withdrawal Agreement residency for UK citizens, and this seems to be an excellent way of getting the information out there, because first of all you do your chatty conversational live video, then I take it and kind of condense it into a bullet pointed brief package video for the sort of shorter one, about half the length, for that part of the YouTube audience that likes that kind of thing. And then we go live on a Saturday morning following them for a deeper dive into the topic and answer the more individual questions from our collective subscribers and first-time viewers. So I think this could be a great format to continue, don't you think?
Oh, I really do. I love your videos because they're so different as well. Fun, because mine aren't that fun. But the way that yours are condensed, punctual, and and then if it directs people obviously to the live and they can ask their questions here, then I think the format really works. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, let's do that then. Right then. So what we'll do is just a summary to start with, I think. And so take us through the main points. I've just listed them in my notes. I think I sent them to you as well. Yeah. These were the questions on the time codes on my video. So let's see if we can go through that. Who is eligible for the residency renewal to start with?
Right. So basically, if you got your residency in Spain before Brexit, as a European citizen at the time, you would have held either a green certificate or a little green card, or you entered Spain during the withdrawal agreement and got your residency approved by the government, which meant you didn't have a little green European card. You got approved straight away in that period between period from July 2020. Then you are eligible now to renew your card, because we're coming up to that point. We'll talk about timescales, I think, in a minute. So anybody who qualifies under the withdrawal agreement and got their residency within the withdrawal agreement, Article 18.4, I believe it is, then you should be coming up to or already be eligible for renewal.
Brilliant. Yes. And that was, you also said, don't listen to the scaremongering on social media. What's been on social media? What have they been saying that's all rubbish?
Well, there was one post we saw that everybody said, you can do this renewal online. That was quickly taken down by a very supposedly reputable organisation. You can't do it online. There's been a lot of people saying that everybody's going to get kicked out after the 90 days if they don't secure an appointment. There's been a bit of scaremongering regarding the administrative.
Yes.
That again.
You need more coffee.
Yes, I'm only on this one here. I need los administradores or whatever they call them.
No.
have
Easier
been
in
not
Spanish.
accepting the right forms and been forcing people to use the wrong forms. But I can tell you now that we've done, I don't know how many of these. Jane will tell you how many we've done, and we've never, ever, ever had a problem with the right form. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's been a bit of scaremongering on the internet about these renewals.
No, your voice is disappearing a bit. I don't know if there's. Have you got all your notifications off and any programs running in the background?
Yeah, no, nothing's. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, it's all gone clear again. It sometimes happens during the show. It goes all like you're speaking underwater for like 20 seconds. Never mind, it's working now. So the next question was going to be what are the two ways that UK citizens have the right to residency? Just go a little bit deeper into that because it was the first half of 2020 and the second half, wasn't it? And it was different because that's when Boris said, right, where there is going to be no further extension of the Brexit Withdrawal Agreement. It's definitely happening at the end of 2020. And then, of course, they changed the way that you had to apply, didn't they?
Yeah. So basically, what happens, try and put it in simple terms, is that everybody who, before that point where Boris said, that's it, 1st of January 2021, we're out, no more withdrawal agreement. Before that point, everybody who was a UK citizen who registered in Spain got a green European style residency card. And that card you could get directly at the comisaria, directly at the police station, where Europeans can go, like you did, and declare that they've got the right to live in Spain, because at that point all British citizens were still considered Europeans and had the right to live in Spain. As we know, you didn't need permission to be here. Okay, we had the right to be here, you just had to register that right. Once Boris decided that that was going to be it, the process changed for people who were coming to Spain and who were already living here as well. Many people were living here and hadn't declared their residency here for various reasons. And that moved on to the basically third country nationals platform, which is the national immigration. Now, here in Spain, if you're a third country national, you need permission to be living here, and that permission is granted by the Spanish government, whereas the Spanish government don't get involved in European residency applications. And for those people after around the end of June, beginning of July, who wanted to declare their residency, they first had to go to the Spanish government, declare all that they were living here, that they qualified to live here. They were then received a permission, which is called a resolución, or not in some cases. And with that permission, you went back to the comisaria and you got a residency card, which is different to the EU one. It's actually a TIE card, one of these. During that period as well, going back to the green card, people who are European, they were then told that, or offered the opportunity to also switch their green cards, because they were no longer going to be European citizens, for a TIE card, which is what third country nationals get, and actually says on it permission, as you see at the top there.
Yeah, permiso. Yeah.
Permiso de residencia.
So everybody, in theory, should have a TIE card by now, and if they haven't, then they've been asleep somewhere.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I saw back in the day there. I mean, I was always an advocate for get your TIE card as soon as possible. That was it. That was, yeah. I always thought it was a better idea. Administratively, it was always going to be easy for you. And there was quite a lot of organizations that said, no, you don't have to get it straight away, because the green card helps, is a declaration of your rights within the withdrawal agreement, which is true. Yeah. It's absolutely true. It was, but it was never going to go back to a green card. It was always going to get to the point where we are now. That's what, we said it 5 years ago. It's not, why hang on to the piece of green card, the piece of paper, which is just falling to bits anyway, when eventually everybody's going to have a TIE card. You might as well get it switched.
Yeah, and it's a proper plastic, like a credit card.
Yeah.
Which I wish I had one, but I can't. As an EU citizen, I've just got this floppy piece of paper, which is quite easy to destroy, sitting in my wallet.
Yeah, and it's so it was, it was one of those, but really, and then obviously now with the entry of the EES system, you're gonna have to have one anyway. So if you've still got a green card, then the pressure really is on now.
Yeah, it's all about biometrics now. You've got all of your eyes and your fingerprints and everything are all logged onto your TIE card, just like they
Yeah.
are on your passport. Yeah. Oh no, they're not actually on your passport, are they? Not your eye recognition.
No, so I don't think it is it? I need to renew my passport. My passport runs out next year, but it's promptly fallen to bits. So
There you go. You want
Yeah.
a new one anyway, yeah. So these two groups of people, the first half of the year and the second half of the year, what should they do now? Is what we were talking about in the video. So the ones in the first half, the ones who've had the green card.
Well, I mean, the good news is that at the moment, you're for the renewals and to get your permanent card, people are not being asked for your healthcare and the finances. Okay, now we have to really understand how lucky people within the withdrawal agreement are, right? I was discussing this with Costa, my colleague, yesterday, because we always like to have a bit of a rant on a Friday. What's happened this week for you? What have you learned? Most of the time it's a rant about the government or something that they've decided to spanner in the works. But we're just saying that the fact that there's no application through the subdelegation to get your permanent card means that we don't think there'll ever be a need for people to present finances and healthcare, because the people at the commissariat where you do your exchange for a permanent card aren't qualified to qualify those aspects of the application. So that's fantastic, because virtually every single platform, even yours, the European platform, when you come to get your permanent card, okay, you're still going to have to present how you're supporting yourself in Spain and how you're covering your healthcare. EU family members, everybody, it virtually is, something has to be presented along those lines. So yeah, it was very fortunate. But now people who had the green card, you should, if you did your exchange really quickly, you should be coming up to expiry now, which means that you need to update your card for a permanent one. But
Yes, a date, the expiry date. This is what
you can't do this until your card actually expires.
Yes, and a lot of people didn't get the card straight away, did they? They applied for their card slightly later on.
Exactly. Now, what's happened lately with this, and let's bear in mind that we have lots of different provinces, lots of different commissariats, okay? And the truth is, if the commissariat wants to do it, it wants to do, if for people who had green cards, so people had their residency earlier, if your card hasn't expired yet, but you have physically been in Spain with your residency or had your residency for more than 5 years, maybe you got a green card in 2019, exchanged it in 2021, your expiry is in 2026, for example, then you do have the right to renew early, okay, and get your card, your permanent card now. What's the problem? And this can be done. The person sat behind the desk has that. They explained it to us in Malaga. We have a great relationship with them. They said, basically, you look at the time that they took residency, you actually have to cancel the temporary card, and it automatically kits out a permanent one due to the date. Right? Mm-hmm. That's how it was explained to us. Problem is, at the moment, we got informed that in Alicante, there's been a message sent out to the commissariats that they're not allowed to do this. I think this may be due to a lack of appointments available. All right. You can't do it until expiry. And then we've also been told by a couple of the commissariats here in Malaga that they, by all no uncertain means, will they do it. They're just not going to do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could stand there and stomp your feet and say it's your right, but unfortunately, they're the people who pull the punches. Now, we are still managed to push a few through in a select station in Malaga, which I'm not going to tell you which one it is because that's our secret.
It'll get very busy if you do.
Just come to Upsticks. But yeah, that it does look like the net is closing around the early renewals for people with the green cards.
Mm-hmm. There we go. And the next question on the video was, what's the availability for appointments? That's always a sticking point, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So you've got provinces like Huelva and Jaén and Cordoba to some degrees, where we just Valencia as well, Almeria. Though we've actually managed to get to the bottom of our Almeria appointment list, which is absolutely amazing, and a big shout out to all of our lot who've been crazily booking appointments. Those places are very difficult, and you'll find that you'll need a digital signature or a clave permanente to get an appointment. Now, we would definitely strongly recommend, if you're in a place where it's difficult, in a province where it's difficult to get appointments, that you get either a digital certificate or a clave permanente on your phone.
Yeah.
They seem to work a lot better booking appointments on your phone, and you'll see that they're like places like Almeria, for example, you cannot book an appointment without a digital certificate.
Yeah, you should have one anyway.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it to everybody, to get onto the DGT website and things like that. It's so handy.
Yeah, pay your speeding fines. Not
Yeah,
that.
and the health service as well. You can get to see your X-rays, all kinds of things, and what tablets you've got, and there's whole sites and apps that are so handy if you've got a digital certificate, especially.
Yeah, especially for people, I mean, that are working, for example. The other day I had to download my vida laboral, my work history, on the phone, 2 seconds, PDF, WhatsApped it across. It was brilliant. So definitely handy.
Yeah, it's like being on Star Trek. Everything you can do, it's all in your hand.
What was the next?
Actually, let me just remind viewers, don't forget to check out Chris's Upsticks website and YouTube channel. The links are in the video description below. There's lots of articles and videos to help you out. And of course, he does a live update every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Spanish time. And that's lots of fun as well as being informative. So all kinds of bits of news and what Chris has been doing out and about. And I'm occasionally on the show. Was it last week? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was last. It was fun. It was good. We enjoyed that. Get you on like once a month or so. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I think so. And also, you may have noticed, viewers, that there's a QR code up in the top corner, just up there. Buy me a coffee. Do it, because this one's going to run out soon, and I'll need more. And not just for the coffee though, it supports the channel and it keeps it going. If you're on the phone at the moment, obviously you can't hover over that and do the QR code, so go to the super link, which is in the video description below. Go to the bottom of where it describes what the video is all about, and then it says top links, and one of those is Upsticks, and then the next one down I think is the super link for everything to do with YouTooSpain and me and my music and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, go to there and you'll find that. And if you've learnt something of value to you today, or you've been entertained, then buy as many cups of coffee as you think the show is worth, and that keeps the electricity running. And Yogi is with us. Good morning, everyone, he says, and thanks very much for the donation, Yogi. That's lovely. Good to see you guys. Remember to press the like button, he says, and support the channel. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Mad David says, good morning, chaps. And Yogi's asking, so is the UK re-entering the EU? No,
unfortunately.
Don't think that's going to happen. Not in this century, anyway. Well, you never know. And he says, what's the latest? Well, the latest is it's still no, I think. Mad David says, we have just put our house up for sale here in the UK, moving forward slowly but surely. Yes, you'll get here one day. Have you started your application or what, David? I don't know what stage you're at. And which part of Spain are you moving to? Let's have a bit of a chat about that. Okay, so let's continue with the topic. The next question on both of our videos is how can you keep up to date with what to do? And the best thing to do is to subscribe to both of our channels, and you'll get updates like this, live shows and videos and everything. Make sure you click on the bell, because that's what gives you the notifications. So very quickly, let's run through the documents that are required for applications.
Yeah, so You need to have, and this is both for the people who got their resolutions through the government and for people who exchange their cards, the documentation is exactly the same now because you're all temporary TIE card holders. You're going to need an EX23, which is the form that you need. Do not take an EX17. You shouldn't be asked for an EX17, and an EX23 is the form you need. Very similar forms. You're also going to need a 790.012 tax form, which currently here in Malaga, they are using the €12 European payment, which is correct. They've always used that here in Malaga for the withdrawal agreement applicants. We did get a report back from Alicante that they were using the €19.40, I think, to renewal, which is tax, which we use for the NLVs, but that's incorrect. We're still to verify that. So as soon as we've got that information, when we've got some going through up there, we'll let you know.
Okay.
Certainly in Almeria, we've used the €12 tax as well. You obviously need your passport, your original TIE card. You're going to have to take a photocopy of the passport page as a backup. Normally they scan it. Okay, so you walk away with that copy, but take it with you.
So you don't need all the pages doing like you do for your NLV?
No, you don't for your NL, not like you do for an NIE number, for example, for a third country national or an NLV renewal. You don't need to do that. What else was there? Oh, and obviously your photo. You need a photo, your carnet size photo. So if they're smaller than British passport sizes, you need one of those.
Or padron if you've changed your address.
And your padron dated within 90 days if you have changed your address.
And that's about it. And as you said before, there's no requirement for proof of public or private healthcare or the financial means to support yourself. Which is
at the moment, no. And we have done now a lot of early exchanges. And at the end of this month, we start to do the exchanges for people who got the resolutions, because they started dropping in around the end of this month. And I think our first appointment is, in fact, I can tell you when the first appointment is because I've got my calendar here. So that's going to be a huge update, which no doubt me and you'll do videos about. And I think it could be as early as next week. What have we got going on next week? We've got no, maybe I'm talking absolute rubbish. It's not next week. It's the
can't do it next week. The ferrier's on here next week. You can't get anything done. I tried to book a gig at one of the local venues saying, can I have a gig for September? And they're going, no, the ferrier's on next week. Ask us after that, because it's just, we can't do anything. We can't think beyond the ferrier.
I know it's July anyway, so we've got them coming up as soon as because I'm off to Marbella to do a couple actually. Nice. So as soon as we know, then we'll let you know. But they are coming up, and we've done the early ones. They haven't asked for any finances or healthcare. So when we do the resolution ones, we're assuming it's going to be exactly the same.
That'd be good. And there must be so many jealous people who are going, so you have to go for part of your work, you have to go to Marbella?
Okay. And I'm getting out more. You know, my objectives have been this last couple of years to get out more and see people. You know, and I met a client of ours, Gary, last week, and we went through hell trying to book an appointment at the BLS. It was just terrible. Just didn't want to work. I think we spent 2 hours together doing like a remote session on the computer, and so I said, I've got to go and meet Gary. So I did, and it was nice, you know, to actually see people in real life rather than just behind the computer.
Yeah, absolutely. And get out in the sunshine briefly, because then you've got to get in the shade almost immediately.
But that's not a problem. That's not a problem, because if you're an Upsticks client, you get one of these fantastic fans.
Yeah, beautifully designed, Chris. They don't look cheap at all.
They look cheap and I'm so disappointed. I was so excited with these, but nobody likes them.
Oh, there you go.
They're Ferrier. Come on, it's Ferrier season.
Yeah. We get the it's not for the Ferrier, but it's for the Noche del Vino, which is in the middle of August here, Night of the Wine, and they've got these white trilby hats, which have got a blue band around them saying Noche del Vino on them, and it just seems to be that everybody in the village is wearing them. They do look a bit cheap and tacky, but the trilby's all right, and it's good for ska music to wear it. But I just don't really want the blue band around it. I want to colour it in black and white, so it's like looks like two tone. There you go. But I've already, yeah. So where were we? Well, let's. Yogi had a question, and we're saying, Chris, do you feel the applications for non-lucrative visa are getting harder now?
On the financial proof of stability and the financials are getting harder, yes. Okay, so they've got a lot stricter on the documents that you have to provide to prove that you can support yourself in Spain on every front, on the documents that you need to provide in terms of the 12 months bank account statements instead of just 6 or 3 where you throw it out and they're, oh yeah, that's fine. I mean, back in the day when Manchester kept giving all our clients back their bank statements and only retaining 3 months, and we kept telling people to go with 12, and then they're going, why did you tell us to take it all? Well, because one day they're going to change their mind. And after the law changed, finances have. Every other part of it, no. The appointments are running well at the BLS office. Too well, if you are going and you're not using our services, make sure they take all of your paperwork, because they keep taking stuff and not taking it all, and then we get a request for it. I'm like, you had that in your pack. Yeah, but they didn't take it. They said they didn't want it. Don't listen to them. Give it to them. The typical thing is S1 registrations and and P45s and stuff. They're just not taking them, and then people need them. But no, apart from the finances, it's all running relatively well at the moment.
And the new rules are supposed to simplify things.
Not when it comes to the finances. Now they're asking for like stamped bank account statements, and it's just impossible to provide for some, So we get around that. So far, we haven't had any post 20th of May visas issued from Manchester yet, but we have from London, and we had people had online accounts, and it's impossible to get stamped statements, and they got letters from their banks which actually stated this is an online account only. These statements are verified by us. The only way you can get them is by downloading them and presenting them with all the account details, etc. And they were accepted. So there we go. There's a tip for you.
Nice one. Tony Silcock says, morning, guys. Good to speak to you in the week, Chris. Acro certificates have arrived this morning. We'll scan them to you later.
Brilliant, Tony. Great to I'll speak to you soon as well.
Yep. And David says, not started any process at the moment, just gathering all our finances together, hopefully moving to the Alicante region of Spain. There you go. You and many others. It is very popular still, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so once you've handed in the documents, what happens? Just summarise that.
Yeah, so basically you have to give a thing. Remember, just one important thing about the photo is it has to be dated within the last 6 months, your photo, okay? So if you've got your photo left over from your passport or your driving license or something like that, which is over 6 months old, get an updated photo, recent photo of yourself, not one that's been kicking around the drawer for a while. And when you go, basically you hand over your documents, you have to give fingerprints to verify who you are, and that's when we saw this whole online. You can do this online thing, because we can do it online and say it was rubbish because it was impossible to process. And then once you've given your fingerprints, you will, and all your documents have been checked on the system, maybe your address has been updated, you'll be given a document called a resguardo. The resguardo is proof that the card has now been renewed. All right, then you'll be handed in back your old card in most circumstances, in most 95% of stations. Some retain, but 95% of stations actually have the hand you card back. And you go away with resguardo. Strongly advise that you take a photo of the resguardo on your smartphone. At that point, do it, just in case you lose it. Okay, because you'll need that photo in the case that you lose your resguardo to prove when you go to pick up your card.
Yeah, make sure you check all the details on the resguardo as well. That's what you said on the video.
Yeah, but yeah, good one. Yeah, you make sure you check that you haven't had your name. Make sure In fact, we've had this before. You've got the correct resguardo because they're in a rush, go to the printer, run off. And we've had it before where clients have got outside and gone, that's not me. I'm not Sharon. So, it's a quick running, go again. So just check that the resguardo is correct. And then after that, after around a month, I have to say, they say it's around 30 to 40 days. The cards have been coming in super quick at the moment. We had one in around 20 days recently.
Wow.
Do you
have to make another appointment for that, or do you just go in?
Depends where you're going. Like Malaga city centre, you do. All the ones in Malaga, you do. Hang on a minute. 9, I'm trying to think of what in Malaga. Yeah, Malaga, you have to make an appointment. Places like Mira in Alicante, you can just turn up and pick up a set time in a day. Almeria, for example, they give you a day, and from that day you can turn up. So that's a very good tip as well for you, Almeria guys. Is on when you get your resguardo, on the back of the resguardo, it'll give you a date, and it gives you a time. I think it's like from 9 till 2, even I think it is. I'll have a look. But anyway, you can turn up at any time and pick up your card. But it doesn't have to be on that day. That's when your card will be there. So say, for example, you're a couple and you've got 2 different appointments, one after the other, one's a week later, then you don't have to go one and then another. You can both go together as long as the date has passed.
Excellent. Okay, so that's basically the summary of what was on the videos. Get ready to ask more questions. But before that, here's a quick plug, as usual, for some other friends of ours who do the best currency exchange. And I've told you on every other past video, the live shows especially, all of the brilliant advantages of using the delightful company that I recommend. They specialize in safe transfers of your cash for things like property purchases or for your move to Spain. They can also help you, though, with any transfer amount, like, for example, your monthly pension. You can have the same rate. If there's a good rate, you can fix that rate for 1 or 2 years, and that's very, very handy. So you know that you're not getting a reduction in your pension coming in just because the rates have shot down, which they have quite a lot. They've gone down from 1.21 to 1.15 in the last about 3 months, I think. So that can make a massive difference if it's the price of a house, for example, and you're hoping to have a certain number of euros when you move, and you realise that if you haven't fixed your price previously, then you've got an awful lot less to spend in euros. So there you go. So all I'm going to say is this: use the link below to Smart Currency Exchange, and if you use that link, which is also in the comments as well as the video description, you'll get your free account, free advice, and your own very lovely personal broker, and there's no obligation. Plus you'll actually be helping YouTooSpain as well at no extra cost to you. It is a win-win-win with a cherry on top, just like that there. There you go. Okay then. So any questions there on the live chat? There's nothing else coming in yet. Oh, Michael Hill says, hi, me again. Going to Spain under the new family member route then. Will I need to provide proof of income and take out healthcare? I'm 67 and retired.
You won't need private healthcare. But yes, I believe you do have to. We did a whole video on this, didn't we? Check out the video that we did on this for me and Skatz. And off the top of my head, yeah, you will have to prove how you're going to support yourself in Spain. And the healthcare, you'll be covered by your spouse, or if not, if you're 67, and you should, I'd imagine, get an S1. You won't need private healthcare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's if you're from the UK. Oh no, there's other countries do S1 or equivalent as well as the UK, aren't they?
Yeah, we haven't done any Spanish family members applications yet, to be honest.
No.
But it's definitely something we're going to start doing. I was going to be a study for me in summer to get the application, because you have to put the whole platform together. But from what it looks like it's pretty easy, to be honest with you. They're flying through when I've seen other people doing them, collaborators and companies. So
brilliant. Okay then. So is there anything more that in depth we need to add to what we've already said?
I think that's it. When you'll get a 10-year permanent card after that, which then allows you to leave Spain for a lot longer than if you had your temporary card, which is great. I don't think we touched on people who haven't actually lived here but still maintained their card. And can they renew? So say you left a couple of years ago but you'd never told the government and you've got a temporary card and it's coming up for a renewal, we always get the questions of, well, how does Spain know if we've been here or not? Now, in theory, if you've been away for more than 6 months, you shouldn't be able to renew your card. In practice, what we've seen is many people have been able to. Now, I don't know if that would leave people with a tax liability, for example, because if you're declaring permanent residency, you haven't been here. Once you've declared that, we know that the various organisations in Spain talk to somebody, you know, does immigration talk to Hacienda and say, well, hang on a minute, this person has declared their permanent residence but hasn't done a declaración de la renta, you know, so maybe that could be an issue. We don't know. We don't know how their internal systems work. We also don't work as border guards, so we don't know how they know you've been here or not. But the truth is that if now it's being done at the commissarias, and the commissarias aren't the subdelegation, they're just looking at what's on the computer. If you're still registered, then it's more likely that even if you haven't been here, you've still got a card, that you'll be able to get a permanent one, albeit maybe not the correct thing to do.
And once you've once you get your permanent card, you can, as a WA resident, you can stay out for up to 5 years. It's even longer than an EU person.
The withdrawal agreement was, you know, people have moaned obviously about the availability of appointments, blah blah blah, but we really got it good, you know, with the withdrawal agreement, to be honest with you. And it looks like the renewals are going through well, you know, and you know, there's some people who have ironically benefited from it. So, like, for example, my son, for example, who's not Spaniard because we've got British passports, as a permanent withdrawal agreement beneficiary, he can live in Spain for the rest of his life, obviously, you know, as same rights as a Spaniard. But if he decided to go to the UK and study, because he holds a British passport, he could do as well. Whereas if he changed his passport for a Spanish one, then he won't be able to. So yeah, there's some scenarios like that.
Paul Cook got an interesting question. This is actually not about the Brexit withdrawal videos that we did, but the previous week's videos. This is, Paul says, I've been trying to understand the situation where you now get a year from getting your visa approved to move to Spain and get your TIE. I was a bit confused. So let's have a bit of a summary of this one then.
Yeah, I'm still confused as well. No, we're all confused. Right, so all the visas which have been released from appointments at the BLS office, which are then obviously BLS send the documents to the consulate. The consulate then are in charge of issuing visas, and we are now receiving visas from people, mainly London, not from Manchester yet, but from London, where people have been to appointments after the 20th of May this year, when the new law came into force. New laws actually came into force last year, published last year. There's a 6-month adaptation period and came into force on the 20th of May. The visas which have been released from that date have been given a 365-day validity. And now what Paul wants to know is, hang on a minute, well, does that mean that I've got 365 days to enter Spain? Well, in theory, yes. And then once you enter, they give you 30 days to register your TIE card. That said, the visa says multi-entry, which means you can use it to come in and out, okay, as you could do the previous 90-day visa as well. What the question is now is, when does the residency actually start? Is it going to be from the start date of the visa, which we suspect that's going to happen? Or
that's actually what the rule says. If it's
that's what the rule says, yeah, that's what the rule says.
Interpret it literally, yeah.
That's what the rule says. So it's going to be from the start date of the visa, which causes all sorts of questions surrounding tax, your entry date, when your residency starts, your renewal, etc., etc. Or is it going to be like the old visa, where you start your year's residency from your last entry date into Spain within the validity of the visa period? What we'll know is on the, here we go, and I've got the calendar here. Bear in mind, this is all very recent, and we're very lucky to have these visas through from London. You know, there's not many people talking about this now. We actually have got an appointment at the end of the month in Malaga for one of these visas, which is on the 20 something. Anyway, so as soon as we have the first appointment with the 365 visas, we will be giving you a report back of the validity of the residency that was given to those people. And moving forward, that's going to be a big video for both of us, I think. We can then make the assessment, as in we'll need to contact somebody about tax, find out but if they're backdating the residency but the person physically wasn't here, how is that interpreted in the tax office? How, if you come in late, that will affect your renewal, because we know they've reintroduced the 183-day rule for renewals as well. So yeah, we'll be able to tell you more at the end of this month, Paul, but at the moment 365, and you can come in when you like on that visa.
Yeah, I mean, some people are going to be thinking, well, can we just use that as a kind of an extended holiday tourist visa just for a year, because you can just come in and out when you want?
Yeah, which, and then you've got the questions. I had all these questions thrown at me. Somebody said to me, look, if I'm willing to pay the money, I get that visa. Can I just use it to come in and out with no problems? And how will that affect my fiscal status? Because someone had done a calculation as how they could use the visa and still not spend 183 days either or. So if they calculated they're getting their visa around July 2026, they could mess about with their days, not spend physical days in Spain during the 2026 and 2027, but get around the Schengen rule. All of those questions have been thrown at us, and there would be people who could interpret it like that.
Yeah, is that a huge loophole? And how quickly are they going to close it if it is? Good. Yes, that'll get lots of viewers. If you put the word loophole in the title.
Yeah.
Found a way in. We found a way in, chaps. And
the loophole, and then we'll just sit here doing crochet or something like that.
Yeah, we'll find a way to piss them off somehow. There we go. So, any more questions coming in? We're going to do a short show today. We're going to keep it well below the hour because Chris has got an appointment, and I'll have run out of coffee by then, and I'll just fall headfirst onto my desk, and that'll be it. So,
I think you do amazingly. I don't know how you do it. You do amazingly well to do shows and then get back here on a Saturday morning and do this,
Yeah. Yeah, and having one tonight as well. I'm going to have a sleep before tonight.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be jumping up and down an awful lot. I'm glad I haven't got one on Sunday. But we've got Oscar's turning up on Sunday. So
brilliant.
Our son. So looking forward to that. And he'll be tired as well on the first day. So we probably won't be doing much because he's got to go from west of Ireland, drive to Dublin, drop his car off, and then get the plane over to Malaga, pick up a car there, and then drive to us. So it's going to take him most of the day. He normally gets an early flight in the morning, so he's got to get up about 2 or 3 in the morning to drive to Dublin. So,
who's he flying with? You're allowed to say, aren't you? I think
probably Ryanair.
We get the big big Airbus flying close to us from Aer Lingus that comes in once a day.
Oh yeah, it might be Aer Lingus because they do fly from Dublin. Yeah. So Paul Cook says, thanks for that. Look forward to when you know more. Cheers. You're very welcome.
I'll definitely do one of my informative, boring videos. Then
I'll make it all exciting and short.
Skatz will make it fun.
Yeah. Good stuff. While we wait, then, if you've had some useful information today, then smash that like button into smithereens. And, of course, subscribe if you haven't already. It's well documented that only about half of the people watching on YouTube are not subscribed to the channel, and I can't think why. If you're getting good information, it's the first thing I do. I subscribe, and it's totally free, and you've got control over the notifications. So if you don't want loads of notifications, if it's a channel that produces a video or a short every few hours or every few days, you've got control over that, so you don't have to get all of those notifications in. And so just click the button, which is down there somewhere, and you can always find the best channel on YouTube, or the best 2 channels, because there's 2 of us.
Yeah, help us get to 5,000. I think we can get to 5,000 soon. 4,715 at the moment. I was hoping to get to 5 by the end of the year, but I reckon a couple more good videos. And
you should be able to easily. Yeah,
hit that. Yeah.
How many do you get every month?
It depends on the video. So if it's just normally, if it's just my normal weekly updates and shorts that we do, we normally hit around between 50 and 100. But if there's like an informative video like we did the 2 ones, which were the Brexit and the 365 this month, then we're at 250 new subs this month already. So
well, that's easy then. You'll cross it in a month and a half then.
yeah, I reckon another couple more of those informative videos, and we'll be there hopefully.
Yeah, it's normally between 100 and 200 a month I get. So, although it's been a lot higher than that on some days. So you just never know. And the video I did of the one that was a summary of your video, you got about 3,500 views, and I've got over 8,000 now on that one. So
that probably that relates back to the really huge subscriptions I got off of that video, because getting 3.5, we get like 140 subscribers off the back of a video which only gets 3,000 views. It's just insane.
Yeah.
You know, but that's probably because it bounced back from yours.
So it's all helping each other out.
Yeah.
Great stuff. There we go. So we're not going to do an argument today. I was going to do just a look at a couple of news headlines that are relevant to people visiting Spain and moving. Like I'll just mention them. Barcelona is to reduce the number of cruise ship terminals to combat over tourism. They've got 7 at the moment, and they're going to reduce it to 5. But it's going to take till 2030 to actually implement that. And it's expected to lower the maximum daily capacity from 37,000 passengers to 31,000. That's every day. 37,000 people are spewed out of cruise ships, and they don't spend any money because they've got all free stuff on the ship. They just wander around Barcelona and have their pockets picked. Yeah, it's not everybody. Barcelona's not like that for everybody. I should hasten to add. It does have a bit of a reputation. But yeah, so I quite agree. I mean, the cruise ship thing, I don't particularly like cruise ships. Don't like the idea of just being stuck somewhere with exactly the same food. I know there's a big choice, but it's just exactly the same thing, and it's all stuff that you can get on land. Only you've got a choice to leave when you're on land. You can go wherever you want.
I think I'd find it too stressful, to be honest. I mean, I like to be a little bit free. So, you know, like I know it's, I mean, people, you know, cruise ships are your prerogative, isn't it? But I think if someone said to me, you're going to Rome, you've only got 3 hours, I'm not exactly going to enjoy the Spanish steps, you know. So it's one of those where I don't think it would suit me to, you know, like, you know, I prefer to have a whole day, you know, and stuff like that. I don't think I'd be able to do 3 hours here, 3 hours there. I'd like to be a bit more chilled. Yeah. Maybe it's different, yeah, because we work, when you're of working age, if you're retired, it might be different. When you're working age, the very last thing you need to do when it's a day that you're relaxing is have a timetable, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I ban them on my days that I'm, you know, off. No timetable.
And one of the main things to do if you're in Rome is have a meal, but you're not going to want to do that if you've got like 7 restaurants with free food on the boat. Yeah,
enjoy the local cuisine. So, yeah.
So Paul's saying, off topic, I said a couple of weeks ago my Ryanair flight was delayed 5 hours. They paid me 400 euros. 261 euros compensation in 7 days, so I can't complain. Lovely. Did the flight actually cost you that, or did they actually end up giving you more?
They did that to my parents as well once, and one time with Brian, they got their money back, and one time Ryanair, when my grandmother passed away and Raoul had pneumonia and got taken into hospital, I had to cancel the flights, and I sent the hospital details in, and they refunded me as well.
Brilliant.
So it was like, and I explained what the situation was. They gave me the money straight back, and that was like 600-700 euros. So they get a lot of stick, but that's, you know, credit where credit's due.
Yeah, God, literally credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
So the second news item, which is relevant, just that Airbnb have reached an agreement with the Spanish government to remove the irregular listings. They were objecting, but they've now reached an agreement to remove listings for holiday rentals in Spain that do not have an official registration code, which I think is a good idea. So they held a meeting on Tuesday at the Spanish ministry, and Airbnb have agreed to detect and remove listings that lack the valid registration numbers, as well as provide monthly reports starting in August detailing the active listings hosted on its platform. There you go. So they're digging into that one. It's got to be a good thing.
That's fair enough. I mean, everybody runs a business. We all have to have various registrations or whatever. Now, I mean, somebody would argue it's so difficult to get the registrations now anyway, it's going to kill the industry. Nobody can get the registrations. But, it's also to protect the consumer, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's safe because the insurance can't be valid, surely, if they're not registered.
Well, it's so crazy. It's like you're looking, when we recently went on holiday to Italy, you're looking for the registration of the property because you know that it's been checked for a fire escape, and if you're going with your kids, you need to make sure there's a, it's got regulation, because you would assume that if it's got the registration code, that it's been passed as being safe, So, yeah.
Absolutely. Paul says the EU 261 rules, if you're going up to 1,500 kilometres, you get 250 compensation. Over 1,500 kilometres, 400. And my flight was €56. Brilliant. Profit.
Fantastic.
Bargain. And Russ Cam says, hi to you all. You've just managed to catch the end of the show. You can always rewind once it's out on video.
Hey,
there you go. So we've just got time to do the goodie bag before the end of the show. So who is on there that we haven't given something to? Michael Hill, maybe?
Who wants a fan? Come on, someone
Brilliant.
say something positive about the fans.
Yeah.
I've had some backlash to the fans,
Chris's feelings are hurt.
My feelings
give
were
them the stroke.
My feelings. I was thinking, I can't wait for these to arrive. I get all excited when the packages arrive at the office. I get all excited to show people what I've invested in our marketing, and then Jane just took one look at them and went, "They're naff." They didn't get the Jane approvals. You know what I mean? That was just that was not good. So I was, and I do highly respect her opinion on everything. So I was quite hurt. I went home hurting that day.
I'll tell you what, make it up. Just cut a really rough shape out of a cardboard box and stick one of your logos on it and say, "I've had them redone." See what she says.
Here's our goodie bag that we're giving away with fans in it.
With fans. What else do they get? Have you still got some of my stickers?
Still got some of your magnets. So we're going to be doing some.
There they are, the magnets.
When we can, also we're going to do magnets and some fantastic new flyers to put in the packs.
Oh yeah, I must get new flyers, because these are the ones. I've got a special deal on advertising and sponsorship, by the way, for this year. It's all like half price. So if you've got a company that wants to sponsor especially one of the midweek videos that has thousands more people watching than the live shows do, then yeah, get in touch. And Paul Cook says Murcia to Birmingham is 1,629 kilometres, so just over the amount that you need to get the big compensation. So that's brilliant. So if you live in London, move to Birmingham, and you can always get your money back. That's probably the only reason to do it. Oh no, I've insulted Birmingham now. The whole of Birmingham. There we go. So who are we going to give the thing to? Michael Hill? Has he had anything yet?
No, Michael, drop us your address to YouTube at upsticks.es, and we will send you out one of our goodie bags. If it's in the UK, then you get a slightly different goodie bag than if you're in Spain. So you have got an address in Spain. Let me know that, because we can put more stuff in it. If it's in the UK, we have to declare it as documents, which means we put in these lovely fans and a few other bits and bobs.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, he says he's going to Spain, but then it's under the new family member route. So does that mean he's already got people in Spain? Probably.
Maybe. I mean, we've got family in Spain, and what we'll do is give us this family address, and I'll send you something to that address, and then you can hold it there. Because what we do when we send them out in Spain, we actually use a courier service, and then we use the National Post for the UK because couriers would be extremely expensive.
Yeah. So presumably Mad David's already had a prize. I'm fairly sure. Tony Silcock, he's probably going to get one when.
Tony's going to get lots of fans. We don't need to give anything to Tony. Tony's still on. You're going to have a fan for your application forms, a fan when you get here. Don't worry about that.
Shirley Rose is going to get the goodie bag when she arrives.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Farmelo, I think, has had one already. I don't know whether he's still with us. He was right there at the start of the show. I think everyone else has had one. Paul Cook, yeah.
Mad David, though, if you want, I think we sent one to you, but if you want a fan, Mad, you know what I mean? Just give me your address. I'll post you one out. Don't worry.
Yeah, send him a fan.
Them.
Send him a whole package of fans.
Yeah. If you want one posted out and you're in the UK, let me know now because we've got Guillermo, our summer intern, in, and he's the one that runs down the post office, so I don't have to do it. So, you know.
Brilliant. Yeah. So anybody who wants a fan, just
send
a message.
Fan. Let me know.
I've got to get rid of them. They've got to go. Oh no, they're clogging up there. Yeah, they must find something to do with them.
Yeah,
you can string them up and use them as Christmas decorations or something.
I'll go to the ferry. It was all to do with ferry, and I might have got a bit excited on a Saturday making them up. You know what I mean? That's it. Never do your merchandising on a Saturday evening if you've had a barbecue. You know,
no.
Sit there going, I've just had this brilliant idea. Because when they turn up in the cold light of day on a Tuesday around 9:30 in the morning, everybody in the office is like, "What have you done this time?"
Oh no. Oh, Paul Cook says that's fine. I'm in Coventry. Oh, so yeah, moving to Birmingham's a step up. Then is what you're trying to imply. There you go. Oh, Paul Cook says no, I've never had one, but don't worry, lol. No, go on, send your details, Paul. Sure
so
we can get
drop us your. I'll tell you what. Drop us your address to YouTube at Upsticks.es, and you will get a surprise. What will it be?
What will it be? Unknown. It doesn't start with the letter F and finish with the letter N.
No.
But it will be fun. There you go. So that is about all for this week. Don't forget to hover over the QR code, buy me a coffee or 3 or 5, whatever, if you haven't already. And we're very lucky this month because we've got Chris on next week as well. And we'll be choosing a hot topic during the week. Unless you have an idea now, Chris, maybe it's about the video you're doing during the week. What are you doing?
Weren't we going to do this Spanish video? But that's going to be too late, isn't it? If I do, I was going to record the Spanish video, and then you were going to do a short one, and then we were going to discuss it. But we might be a bit tight for that.
Yeah, unless you do yours, unless yours comes out by Monday. Because if it comes out by Monday, then I'll have time to summarise it and make one for Wednesday.
Leave it with me.
There we go. Paul, yes, send your mum's address in Spain if it's easier. Do that. Yeah, and then you can have extra fans sent to you.
I'll send your mum a fan as well.
Special surprise. All right then. So let's give Chris a big virtual kiss and a hug and say goodbye for now. We'll see you next week, and keep your eyes on the Facebook group and page, everyone. And we'll definitely announce more details of what next week's going to be all about as we confirm them. And Chris will no doubt do the same live on his YouTube channel on Thursday evenings at 6 o'clock Spanish time. So goodbye for now. There you go. So you lovely watchers, I will see you on the midweek video at 6 o'clock on Wednesday with whatever that is about. It's exciting. Always at the start of the week I'm going, right, what are we going to do? What's the video about? And sometimes I have to ask the AI to scan and everything what's going on. Or I just watch Chris's channel and then copy it relentlessly and mercilessly. But I do have permission for that. So anyway, I'll see you on that video at 6 o'clock on Wednesdays, and then live here on Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning Spanish time. So peas and fluff, my friends, and I'll leave you all with a message from all of the voices in my head here at YouTooSpain. Peas and fluff, bye for now.
Wave goodbye, lads. Bye. Goodbye. Toodaloo. Peace and love. Peas and fluff. Oi, oi. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. One more cosmic dance? All right, then. Look, Mum, I'm dancing. Oh, I'm all a quiver. Let's dance.